She stood in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, caught red-handed. Overwhelming evidence stacked against her. And then she did something so reckless that even the veteran bailiffs stopped breathing. A 23-year-old defendant reached into her purse, pulled out her phone, and called her father in the middle of court. While the judge was speaking, not just any father, the chief of police. What Judge Caprio did next didn't just shock the courtroom. It exposed corruption, privilege, and a lifetime of consequences avoided. And it all started with 5 words. Put it on speakerphone, please. The courtroom is quiet in that heavy way. That only happens when everyone knows something serious is unfolding. Wooden benches creak. A clerk flips papers. A bailiff stands alert. At the defense table sits Ashley Morgan, 23. Perfect posture. Designer jacket. Expression untouched by fear. Because fear is something she's never really learned. Ashley Morgan isn't nervous. She's confident. Why wouldn't she be? She grew up as the only child of Robert Morgan, Providence police chief. 30 years in law enforcement. A badge with influence. Her mother? A respected high school principal. Ashley attended elite private schools, lived in a mansion in the city's most exclusive neighborhood, and drove a BMW her father bought her at 18. From an early age, Ashley learned one thing clearly. Rules are flexible if your last name is powerful enough. This wasn't Ashley's first time in trouble. It wasn't even her third. For 5 years, a disturbing pattern followed her everywhere. Arrests, then disappearances, charges, then silence, consequences. That never stuck. And every time, one phone call. Ashley's first arrest came at 18. She was caught shoplifting nearly $800 worth of makeup and designer clothing from an upscale mall boutique. Security detained her. Police were called. Standard procedure. Until Ashley made a call. Chief Robert Morgan arrived in full uniform. He spoke privately with the store manager. Within an hour, the charges were gone. The security footage? Mysteriously erased due to a technical malfunction. Later, the store manager admitted. The chief had casually mentioned how closely health inspectors review food courts. The message was understood. The case disappeared. 1 year later, Ashley is 19, underage, drinking at a downtown bar. She becomes belligerent. Staff cut her off. When a bartender refuses to serve her again, Ashley slaps him. Police are called for assault. Ashley locks herself in the bathroom and makes the call. Chief Morgan arrives before patrol officers. Claims it's a family matter. The bartender's complaint? Dropped. When the bar owner hesitates, their liquor license renewal is delayed for 3 months. The message is clear. Cooperate or suffer. At 20 years old, Ashley is arrested for DUI. 2 a.m. Weaving across multiple lanes. Blood alcohol level, 0.16. Twice the legal limit. Body cam footage shows it all. Failed sobriety tests. Slurred speech. Barely able to stand. Ashley calls her father from the roadside. Chief Morgan arrives. Pulls the arresting officer aside. They speak privately. And once again, the consequences vanish. Now Ashley is here again. Same posture. Same confidence. Same assumption that this will end the way it always does. Judge Caprio reviews the file slowly. Years of leniency. Years of interference. Years of protection. Ashley glances at her phone. And without hesitation, she unlocks it. The charges were never filed. Not quietly. Not accidentally. The officer who arrested Ashley Morgan was transferred to the evidence room within a month. A move everyone in the department understood for what it was. Punishment. A message. Cross the chief's daughter. And your career stalls. The body camera footage from that DUI? Reported as corrupted during digital transfer. Just another malfunction. Just another disappearing truth. The pattern didn't stop. It escalated. A hit and run in a parking garage. Ashley damaged another vehicle. and drove off. Her father paid the victim $5,000 cash to make the complaint vanish. A second DUI, this time crashing her BMW into a fire hydrant, flooding an entire street. At the hospital, medical staff were instructed by a senior officer not to perform a blood alcohol test. Ashley went home with minor injuries. 1 week later, a brand new BMW appeared in her driveway. Her father called it a graduation present. She hadn't graduated from anything. Within the Providence Police Department, Ashley Morgan became an open secret. Officers had a name for her: the chief's problem. Rookies learned fast. If you encountered Ashley Morgan, you called a supervisor and stepped back. Writing her up was a career-limiting decision. Evidence disappeared. Witnesses became unreachable. Transfers followed. The system bent over and over to protect one person until it couldn't anymore. Ashley's breaking point came on a Friday night. Late October. Federal Hill. She spent the evening bar hopping across downtown Providence, drinking heavily at multiple locations. Security footage would later show her stumbling, knocking drinks off bars, laughing loudly, and telling anyone who questioned her behavior, "My dad's the police chief." By 11:15 p.m., she was grossly intoxicated. Her friends begged her not to drive. Ashley laughed. "I'm fine. I always drive. Daddy fixes everything." Ashley pulled out of the parking spot without looking, immediately swerved into the wrong lane, then accelerated 50 to 60 miles per hour in a 25 miles per hour zone. She ran a red light, lost control, and then the BMW jumped the curb. The car smashed through the front window of Marcello's bakery. Glass exploded. Display cases shattered. Fresh cannoli and pastries, prepared for the morning rush, destroyed instantly. The BMW came to rest halfway inside the store. Marcello Ricci, 67 years old, and his son Marco were working late in the back kitchen. They heard the crash and ran forward. What they saw froze them in place. A car inside their business. Glass everywhere. Alarm screaming. 3 young women climbing out, screaming. Marcello called 911. Ashley didn't check if anyone was hurt. She didn't apologize. Her first instinct was to grab her phone. She hit speed dial and put it on speaker. Marcello and his son heard every word. "Daddy, Daddy, I need you." Chief Morgan's voice came through clearly. "What happened? Are you hurt?" "I crashed the car. There's people here. Please come fix this." She gave him the location, then said the words that would later echo through Judge Caprio's courtroom. "Daddy, please hurry. Don't let them arrest me." The response was immediate. Cold. Calculated. "Don't say anything. Don't take any tests. I'm coming now." That speakerphone conversation, overheard by witnesses, would become critical evidence. Not later. Not after investigation. Immediately. Because it showed something undeniable. Chief Robert Morgan had instructed his daughter to obstruct justice before he even understood the severity of the crash. 2 patrol officers arrived within minutes. Officer Jessica Ramirez, a 7-year veteran. Officer Michael Torres, with 4 years on the force. Both recognized Ashley instantly. Everyone in the department knew. The chief's daughter. Their body cameras were rolling. Every second mattered now. Officer Ramirez approached calmly and professionally. "Were you the driver of the vehicle?" Ashley didn't answer. Instead, she demanded, "I want my father." Officer Ramirez explained protocol and asked Ashley to step away from the car. Then the question that mattered. "Have you been drinking tonight?" Ashley ignored it. She raised her phone again and tried to call her father. Officer Torres asked her to put the phone down. Ashley refused. "Daddy's coming. You can't do anything until he gets here." Officer Ramirez followed standard DUI procedure and requested a field sobriety test. Ashley refused outright. When told that refusal was itself a violation, her behavior changed. Not nervous, not scared, defiant. "I'm not doing anything without my father." Officer Torres reminded her calmly. "Your father being the police chief doesn't change the law." Ashley's response revealed 5 years of protection. "It changes everything. He'll be here in 5 minutes. And you'll both be sorry." Ashley's friends, now sobering up from the crash, begged her to cooperate. Ashley shoved one of them away. "Shut up. You don't understand. My dad runs the entire department." Officer Ramirez attempted to administer a portable breathalyzer. Ashley snapped. She struck the device out of the officer's hand. It hit the pavement and shattered. The body cameras captured it perfectly. Officer Torres informed her, "You just damaged police equipment. That constitutes assault." Ashley screamed back, "I didn't assault anyone. You're harassing me because of who I am." Officer Ramirez informed Ashley she was under arrest. "Put your hands behind your back." Ashley exploded. She screamed that they shouldn't dare touch her, that her father would take their badges, that they would regret this. Then she tried to run back toward the car. Officer Torres restrained her. Carefully, minimally. Ashley screamed as if she were being attacked. She kicked wildly, fought violently. Officer Ramirez called for backup. Combative suspect. Resisting arrest. A crowd gathered. Phones came out. Everyone was recording. Marcelo Ricci stood nearby, filming everything. The destruction of his bakery, and the behavior of the woman responsible. Ashley continued screaming her father's name, over and over, as if it were a spell that could erase consequences. During the struggle, Ashley bit Officer Torres's hand, breaking the skin through his glove. The body camera caught it all. Clear. Undeniable. With no other option, officers placed Ashley in handcuffs. Even restrained, she kept screaming, "Dad! Dad! Call my dad!" 12 minutes after the crash, Chief Robert Morgan arrived on scene. In uniform, lights flashing, witnesses watching, cameras rolling. For the first time in his career, he wasn't arriving to make things disappear. He was arriving to a scene already documented, already recorded, already out of his control. A black, unmarked police vehicle pulled up fast, emergency lights flashing. Chief Robert Morgan stepped out, full dress uniform, perfectly pressed. He had been off duty when Ashley called, but this was deliberate, a calculated power move, a silent message to everyone watching. "I am in charge here." He strode toward the scene with the confidence of a man who expected obedience, immediate deference, immediate control. Chief Morgan demanded to know what was going on. Officer Jessica Ramirez stood her ground. Professional, controlled, nervous, but steady. She gave the report clearly and by the book. A vehicle crash into a business. The driver was intoxicated, refused sobriety testing, destroyed a breathalyzer device, resisted arrest, assaulted an officer. She gestured toward Ashley, in handcuffs, then to Officer Torres's bleeding hand, then to the BMW, still embedded in Marcelo's bakery. Chief Morgan took it in. His daughter, restrained. The bite mark on an officer's hand. A family business destroyed. Dozens of witnesses filming. Marcelo Ricci standing silently nearby, watching the chief, who had quietly silenced complaints for years. This was no private moment. This was public, recorded, permanent. For 5 years, Chief Morgan had erased evidence, pressured officers, paid victims, protected his daughter from consequences. He had built his career on integrity and dismantled it piece by piece for the sake of his child. Now he stood at a crossroads, and everyone waited. The silence stretched. Seconds felt like minutes. Ashley looked at her father and screamed, "Make them stop. Tell them to let me go. You always fix this." Her voice echoed down the street, shrill, entitled. Desperate, she reminded him, loudly, that he had always saved her. And for the first time, Chief Morgan really looked at his daughter. He didn't see a victim. He saw a violent, out-of-control young woman. Someone who had destroyed a business, assaulted an officer, endangered lives. He saw what his protection had created, the damage his love had caused, the monster he had helped build. Chief Morgan turned to the officers. His voice steady, clear, unmistakable. Process her according to standard protocol. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ashley froze, then exploded. Ashley screamed at her father, demanded he stop it, reminded him who he was, what power he had. She begged. She threatened. She panicked. Chief Morgan's voice cracked slightly. Then he said the words that shattered everything Ashley believed. I can't. Not this time. Ashley couldn't comprehend it. She screamed louder. You can fix this. You're the chief. Chief Morgan turned away, walked toward Marcello Ricci, the elderly baker whose life's work now had a luxury car embedded in its front window. The chief apologized, deeply, publicly, promised restitution, promised charges, promised accountability. Marcello stood stunned. This wasn't what he expected. This had never happened before. Ashley was placed into the patrol car, still screaming, still threatening, still convinced this was illegal. The officers read her Miranda rights. She refused to listen, continued calling for her father. Paramedics checked her injuries. Minor cuts, broken glass, nothing compared to what was coming next. Chief Morgan stood alone, watching, knowing this choice would destroy his career, but also knowing it was the first honest thing he had done in years. Chief Morgan stood still. His face said everything. A man split in two, every instinct screaming to protect his child, every truth telling him that protection had become poison. Officer Ramirez approached quietly. Sir, do you need a moment? The chief didn't hesitate. No. Take her in for full booking. When Ramirez mentioned that Ashley was asking for him, he swallowed hard. I know. Take her anyway. Ashley was transported to Providence Police Headquarters. From the booking area, she called her father 17 times. Every call logged. Every call unanswered. For the first time in her life, the system didn't bend. Ashley was processed like everyone else. Fingerprints, booking photos, blood test. The result hit like a sledgehammer. 0.23 BAC. Nearly 3 times the legal limit. She hadn't just been drunk. She had been catastrophic. The charges stacked up fast. Third DUI in 18 months. Reckless driving. Destruction of property. Attempted leaving the scene. Refusal of chemical testing. Resisting arrest. Assault on a law enforcement officer. Twice. Disorderly conduct. This wasn't a slap on the wrist. This was a collapse. The evidence was public. Recorded. Undeniable. At 12:30 a.m., Ashley was allowed one phone call. She called her father. This time, he answered. Her voice broke immediately. Daddy, please come get me. I'm scared. I've never been in jail before. His response was calm. Firm. You'll stay there until arraignment. Ashley froze. You've never made me stay. The charges were never this serious. When she cried, I'm your daughter. His voice thickened. I know who you are. That's why this hurts. Then she asked the question she never expected to hear the answer to. Why are you doing this to me? His reply ended 5 years of lies. I'm not doing this to you. You did this to yourself. She hung up. Her screams echoed through the cell block. Ashley spent the night in a jail cell. Clean, but cold. Institutional. Unforgiving. No phone. No comfort. No escape. She cried all night. Other inmates yelled for her to stop. Ashley Morgan, raised in privilege, wrapped in protection, learned what powerlessness felt like. For the first time, Daddy wasn't coming. Monday morning arrived. Ashley was transported. to Providence Municipal Court. The courtroom was packed. Police officers filled the gallery, some supportive, others furious about the years of favoritism. Marcello Ricci sat with his family. Ashley's mother, Elizabeth Morgan, sat quietly, eyes swollen from crying. Media cameras lined the back row. This wasn't just a case. This was a reckoning. Ashley entered wearing an orange jumpsuit. No makeup, hair disheveled, eyes red and hollow. She didn't look powerful. She looked lost. Judge Frank Caprio entered. The room rose. He surveyed the courtroom and immediately understood the weight of this moment. This wasn't just about DUI. This was about trust, about accountability, about whether the law applied equally to everyone. The prosecutor stood, outlined the charges calmly, then made the request. We ask for bail to be set at $25,000 cash. The argument was blunt. A history of interference, a pattern of protection, a real risk of evasion. The room held its breath. All eyes turned to the bench. Judge Caprio folded his hands and prepared to speak. Ashley's phone rang. Once, twice. The sound echoed through the courtroom like a ticking clock. Judge Frank Caprio didn't raise his voice. He didn't interrupt the moment. Instead, he said 5 words. 5 words that would end a career. Put it on speakerphone, please. A collective gasp swept through the room. Ashley froze. Her lawyer whispered urgently, "Ashley, don't." Too late. She tapped the screen. The voice came through loud and clear. "Ashley." Chief Robert Morgan. The police chief. Judge Caprio leaned forward. "Sir," he said calmly, "you're on speaker in open court." Silence. Then, "What's going on?" Ashley's voice cracked. "Daddy, tell them this is ridiculous. Tell them to let me go." Judge Caprio didn't interrupt. He let the truth breathe. "Chief Morgan," Caprio said, "did you advise your daughter to refuse sobriety testing the night of the crash?" A pause. Too long. "I told her not to incriminate herself." The courtroom erupted. Caprio raised one hand. "Did you tell her not to take any tests?" Another pause. "Yes." That was it. Years of whispers became proof. Judge Caprio's voice hardened. "Sir, do you understand that advising a suspect, especially your own daughter, to obstruct a lawful investigation is itself misconduct?" Chief Morgan tried to speak. Caprio stopped him. "You taught her that rules don't apply. You didn't protect her. You trained her to be reckless." Ashley's face collapsed. This wasn't rescue. This was exposure. Judge Caprio turned to Ashley, his voice calm, devastating. "Bail is denied." A stunned silence. "You will remain in custody." Ashley cried out. "Daddy." Caprio didn't look away. "This court is not your family. This court is the law." Then he turned to the clerk. "I am ordering an immediate referral of this matter to Internal Affairs and the State Attorney General regarding Chief Morgan's conduct." The room exploded. The police chief closed his eyes. He knew. It was over. Judge Caprio delivered the line that went viral worldwide. "Power doesn't corrupt children. Parents who remove consequences do." He struck the gavel. Court is adjourned. Ashley was led away in cuffs. No phone. No protection. No daddy. Just consequences. Chief Morgan remained seated. A man who loved his daughter so much. He destroyed her. And himself. This wasn't just a courtroom moment. It was a warning. Privilege doesn't disappear overnight. It collapses when exposed. And when it does, it takes everyone down with it. Backhand index pointing down if you believe NO badge should protect family from justice. Comment, NO1 is above the law. Thumbs up if you believe real accountability matters. Hit like. Bell and subscribe for true courtroom stories where power meets consequences. Because the law doesn't care who your father is. And neither does Judge Frank Caprio.